So I want to share something that I hear a lot as a working photographer. So every once in a while, I will be showing some pictures to a friend of mine or a family member or a colleague, and they'll say something along the lines of, "Wow, your camera takes great pictures." Or they might say, like, first thing, their first question they want to ask is, "What kind of camera did you use to take that picture?" And look, I understand the sentiment. I know that they mean well and they're trying to compliment me, but to be honest, this is not really a thing that photographers like to hear. There's a well-known saying in photography, and it's this: the camera does not the photographer make. And that's true. The camera doesn't make the pictures. The photographer takes the pictures. So because all of us have access to a camera of some kind, usually a phone camera, there's this really big misconception around photography. The misconception is that if I take pictures in the same exact way that I'm taking pictures right now with my phone, but I do it with a more expensive device, a fancy camera of some kind, then my pictures will be better. Basically, the difference between good photographers and bad photographers is people who understand how to use the expensive equipment. But that really isn't the case, and you would never apply that to something like baseball. Okay, so when a Major League Baseball player hits a home run, no one asks, what kind of bat was he using? No, because we understand that it's not just about the bat, it's about the technique and about the form and about the strength training and all the practice that made that baseball player able to use the tool that they had to accomplish whatever their goal was. Look, I know so many people who have bought really expensive camera gear and then just let it collect dust and kind of left it behind disappointed. They were disappointed because the pictures they were taking weren't very good, and they were expecting that expensive camera to make good pictures for them. They were expecting it to do all the work for them. So you're in the right place because you're in a place where you want to learn about photography and how to make good pictures. And I'll let you in on a secret. Megapixels don't matter. Camera brands, Canon, Nikon, Sony, doesn't matter. So when a professional buys equipment, they want to know, is this tool going to allow me to do the job that I need to do? And often, like, is this tool going to make my job a little bit easier? So the reason that one lens that you might buy could cost a little bit less than $200 and another lens that basically covers the same range could cost $1,500 is not because one of them is necessarily like technically better in the sense that like the glass is better or that it just makes your pictures more crisp or something like that. Really, the difference between these two lenses is that one of them is easier to use in low light. And for professionals, that ease of use is worth that extra money. So what does it take to make great photographs then? It's not having the best, most expensive equipment. It's knowing how to use it, and also knowing how to create the right conditions or being in the right conditions to make great photos. Okay, so most entry-level cameras you might buy at like a local tech store are going to have tons of auto settings: portrait mode, sports mode, macro mode, etc. But it's weird, like as you move up the camera food chain, let's go to like Canon's most expensive camera, the 1DX Mark III. All of those auto settings are gone. I mean, that's because a professional knows how to do those things. They know the best settings to make good sports photos. They know the right settings to make good portraits. And those auto modes are really just kind of guessing anyway. Most of the time those auto modes are going to disappoint you because the camera is smart, but it's not necessarily that smart. It's not going to figure out everything for you. So we're going to take our first steps toward that kind of professional camera mastery by learning 3 technical foundations of photography. And this is common across all cameras. And those are ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. And for those of you who are using the 645 app on your phone for this class, you'll get 2/3 of the way there. So no phone camera allows you to adjust one of those settings I mentioned. It's called aperture. It's just not something that you can adjust. But you'll learn shutter and you'll learn ISO. Maybe as you get further on through the semester, you'll want to have more control, and it'll be worth it for you to kind of upgrade to the next level up just to have that functionality. But that's up to you. While we're learning those technical settings, we will again be learning those theoretical fundamentals of light, composition, and moment. That's the foundation for all good photography. So what I'd like you to do is take a look at the photos that you submitted to our discussion board and think about what makes those photos good. Think about the light, the composition, and the moment, and as best as you can, write about those photos. Just write a little reply to wherever you posted the link, talking about the light, the composition, and the moment in that photo that makes it good. And you're not going to know everything about light and composition and moment yet, but just try the best you can. So good luck, have fun.